Hey,
How you doing? You all right?
yeah, I'm good. I'm trying to add the other person. I think I accidentally deleted her.
Oh no,
Yeah, told you I don't do this a lot. So, all right,
fine.
there, Jay. Hey, okay. So I already told some people in here that we're gonna be doing a story. Let him tell his side of the story about how Are We Dating the Same Guy has affected him, and I will let you introduce yourself and tell us what you want us to know, and then we'll jump in with questions.
Okay, no problem. So I'm David. I'm 41. I was 41 on Saturday. Uh,
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Um, yeah. So I wasn't aware about this group until last year. Um, I was on Tinder dating, and someone brought it up and said, "I've seen you on some website saying that you abuse women," and I was like, at the time, I didn't
Hmm.
think of it. I was just thought someone was just talking rubbish. So I was just like, okay. Then carried on with the conversation. But then it was in my mind a little bit like she must have got me mixed up with someone else. Like I thought it was like a wider website of, like Claire's Law. Do you have that over there?
No, we don't.
So we have a thing over here called Claire's Law where women can look at to see if men have been prosecuted for assault, rape, murder, or anything like that.
Hmm.
So women look into that. So I just thought she got me mixed up with someone that was on there. Um, and then obviously then the whole Facebook group then became a thing. And then I was just like, Jesus Christ. So yeah. So I wanted to really, it's difficult because predominantly a lot of people that look at your page are from
Hmm.
America, but I'm just doing that in England. It kind of raise more awareness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're trying to bring a lot of awareness everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's beneficial because, as I've said to people, and I'll stand by it, and I'll down this hill. The group that the group the way that it was made originally, fantastic idea because
Hmm.
we do live in a society where women are scared. Women are harassed on a daily basis, 24/7. They're told what they can wear, what they can't do. And there is a lot of narcissist behavior. Women are going outside, they're scared to get home. They can't even go in a taxi without the taxi driver trying it on with them. So that point of the group, I back and I understand.
Hmm.
But taken away from the points of that group is now it's, I've spoken to this guy. Does anyone know any information on him? That part, no problem. It's when someone doesn't have any information and it's, why are you dating this guy? Look at his hairline. Why are you dating this guy? He's fat. Da da da. And then all these little nitty comments come out, and it's just like it's unnecessary. That's not what
Hmm.
she's asking. She's asking you, do you know if there's any reason why you should not date this guy? Has he been abusive? Has he dealt with you in any kind of way which is not acceptable when you're dating, in a relationship, or just as a human being? That's what it's there for. And people are totally using it now to ruin people's lives. If you and me don't want to date, that's fine. But people are like, no, how dare he not want to date me? I don't want anyone else dating him, so I'm going to make up some stuff online. I was recently not dating someone. I went on one date with someone recently, just before Christmas. And the funny thing for me was she messaged me and said, I've seen you on the website. So you already knew about the
Hmm.
website. You knew that you'd seen me on there, but you still went on a date with me. So we went on a date. We had a great time. We had such a laugh. Then she said, oh, you've been posted again. So in her defense, and this is where I need to work on myself, I did tell her a couple of white lies. So I did lie to her about when I'd last sexual relationship with someone, etc. But I didn't really feel like she needed to know. So I just said, oh, earlier on in the year. But she was angry that I lied because someone on the website had told her it was after then. But I was calling her, trying to explain. I'm one of these people where if we're going to talk about, especially something like that website, let's have a phone conversation and talk about it like adults. Things can be taken out of context when you're just texting on the phone. But she wasn't willing to do that. Then she blocked me. Then she came back to tell me her side of the story and to send me pictures, and then blocked me again. So I'm not able to respond. She's just her talking and I can't respond. So I'm not getting annoyed by this.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went on the page because one of my friends was telling me about it. She went on the page and was like, yeah, he's trying to get in a relationship with me. He's lying to all you girls. And I'm thinking, you've just been on a date with me and said how much of a great time you've had. But you're preferring to believe these people on the internet who you've never met over some sat with in person and had a laugh with, and you already knew about the website. So that's why I was confused, because it's like you're doing one thing but then playing to the crowd of a website of people you don't know. And
Complete strangers.
exactly. And 100%, I shouldn't have lied. That's on me. But as I said, once she found out about the lie, I was trying to call her and just say, look, if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. But here's my reasons for not telling you the truth. I don't feel we need to divulge when we last slept with someone, etc. It's minor. I'm not doing that now. I told her that I'd been on a date with someone a week beforehand. And a lot of people will say I'm a serial dater. I disagree with that. There's two sides to it, really. You can be a serial dater in the fact that you just want to go out and date and there's nothing moving forward. But if I'm single and I'm trying to find a partner, how else do I do that without going on a date?
Right. That's what dating is to find somebody.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Exactly that. And what's right for you is not right for Jennifer and Joanne, but it'll be someone else. So people aren't willing to be flexible in a dating era. They want you to know exactly what they want, how they date, how they do things. But you can't do that for every single person that you're dating because everybody likes things differently. So again, on the pages, you're being judged on how that person wants you to be, as opposed to other people. We can't do that. It's not possible, man or woman. It's not even down to the sex of the person. It's down to getting to know that person. And when I'm looking at things that have been said about me on the webpage, a lot of the women I've never even met. So
I hear this a lot.
This is the scary thing. So where, as I said, in my job, I've got quite a high profile job. A lot of it is women that I work with, and a lot of them know about the page. Some of them found it funny because they've worked with me for 6 years. And even when I spoke to the police and the woman that I spoke to on the police, these were her words exactly. She said, at 40 years of age, you don't just turn into an abuser overnight. So I've got a very clean record. My record is clear. I got in trouble and stuff when I was younger.
I will say something. You did show me proof. You showed me that you've been in contact with the police. You even asked for a background check, basically, to clear your name, and you sent me everything, and I have also sent it to Jay. You have nothing on your record, nothing that you have been accused of.
Thank you very much.
So I will vouch for you on that one.
Thank you. So the woman on the phone said, your record is clear, your record is clean. Somebody who is looking to abuse women or has abused women will not just do it, boom, overnight. And I'll be open and honest. I'm 40 years of age. I've slept with a lot of women, but only in the last year, when this page has come out, I've suddenly started abusing women. That doesn't make no sense. My son's mum. Now, I'm a single dad. My son lives with me. He's 10 years of age. Me and his mum, we get on fantastically. We've had our ups and downs, but we've got a strong bond. She went onto the page to defend me. She was blocked.
That's what happened.
Yeah, she sent evidence to say, I was with this man for 4 years. I've known him for 11, and not once has he been violent to me. Now, surely, the words of a woman that has known me for 11 years holds more weight than someone I've been on a date with once. And this is what I'm trying to explain to people. You're reading this stuff on a webpage without any proof and just straight away going to believe it. Because, hold on, yeah, I remember speaking to that guy and I thought he was a bit of a dick. So, yeah, I'm going to write, yeah, he's a twat. I hate him. I don't like him.
Right.
You don't me. You know, you've been on Tinder and spoken to 50 odd guys, and today you haven't fancied talking to me, and because of that, you're just going to go on the webpage and slate me. It doesn't make sense. Like,
David, quick question.
fire
Do
away.
you know how old the woman was that posted you?
So here's the thing for me. There's two people I think it is. So the first person was someone that I worked with. We went on a date. People were saying don't get with her because she did have some issues. But I'm not going to look at someone. We've all got issues. Like I've had myself. I'm not going to look and discriminate someone because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And really well. And I actually really liked what she stood for as a person. And even to this day, despite all of this stuff, like I've got time for her. So we went on a date. We got together. I introduced her into my world, and as I say, she came to stay at mine a few times. And I think that because of how we were, the relationship was going to go towards a part of, is she going to move in? Is she going to meet my son, etc., etc.
Right.
So now I then have to look at that situation and think, how things are going, is that suitable for my child to be around? So we went away in the summer, and for four days we went away, and I was just so unhappy. Like I was laying in bed thinking, I want to go home, because it just wasn't a relationship basis. It was like we were just friends.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think she felt it, and she was getting annoyed. She then had a panic attack. So I went to give her a cuddle. She went, get off me. And so I was like, do your thing. So she's got up. She's walked out the room. She then came back. I said, are you okay? She said, no, where's my keys? So I said, I don't know where they are. She's looking around. She then gets them. She walks out the room. I said, where are you going? She's walked back, thrown the keys at me and said, why do you care? And has walked off.
Mm-hmm.
Come back a couple of hours later. I've realized then we're not really compatible. So we worked together as well, which made it more difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was coming towards Christmas time. Now, rightly or wrongly, I didn't want to end it because it's Christmas. So I didn't want to seem that guy that's ruining someone's Christmas. But then you're ruining after their Christmas. So there was no right time. Mm-hmm. So I just thought, she came in to work. I looked at her and I'd had a really bad day. And you know when you see that person that you're supposed to be with and they're supposed to make your day feel better, I just didn't feel that. And that's when I was like, okay, this has got to finish now. So
right.
we went out and I was like, this can't be done. She was like, yeah, fine, let's just leave it. A couple of days later, my nan was really ill and she unfortunately passed away. And this girl's coming to work and she's screaming at me and I'm screaming back. Again, it's not right behavior. We shouldn't have been doing that at work, full stop.
Right.
But I said to her, I can't deal with this because my nan's just died. She then smirked. So anybody in that situation is going to get angry. I said to her, do not do that, otherwise I will not be responsible for my actions. And then I left the room. Mm-hmm. From that, she then took time off work and was saying to people that I'd been abusing her and stuff. So there was a whole investigation at work and stuff. Now, she said that I'd been abusing her only at work, not at home. Now, if I'm going to
be the other way around.
Exactly. Yeah. If I'm gonna do it where there's no evidence at home, work. It didn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody else realized that it didn't make sense. But at this time, I owed her money. I paid it all back. The week after I paid it back, my picture appeared on that website. So that was my first thought, that it was her that done it. Mm-hmm. However, when I was looking at other timelines of other times I've been posted, there's a girl that I've dated a couple of times, and every time I've called it off, I've also appeared. So then it's made me believe it's her. Mm-hmm. So then difficult because I don't want to just lay the blame on somebody.
Right.
But the person that said about the abuse, the last year they said that I'm getting done by the police. So they're the one that put up the crime numbers and said, I've got crime numbers out against him. So that's why I went to the police, because I was like, there's no way that you can have crime numbers out against me, because I know that I haven't done anything. I'm not like that.
Right.
That's why I went to the police to check, and the police, as you've seen, said there's nothing in my name to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then, yeah, so I was really confused. And then she put on the website, I don't want him to know it's me because he knows where I live with my children. So my friend put on there, you don't want him to know it's you, but you've been to the police and you said that they're going to arrest him.
Mm-hmm.
This was last April. We're now in January, going into February. I've not been arrested. So
Right, you would have been arrested by now.
Yeah.
exactly. And where I'm with the other women in the group, you've seen this woman write that stuff. I've still not been arrested, but yet you're not holding a lying
Mm-hmm.
because it has to lie. So why isn't the girls will be like, oh no, it will probably will be happening. The police will probably be coming at a later date. My job would have sacked me. As I said, I'm a single dad. Social services would have come and taken my son from time and all of these things. But these women aren't looking at it. They're just looking, guy, abuse, I hate men. They're all the same.
Right. So now that you brought your son up, you did tell me a situation that it kind of like spiraled. It affected your son. You want to explain what you had to do?
So for me, because I didn't know who it was, what was happening, I'm going into the school playground, I'm taking the school, I'm getting parents looking at me. They might just be looking at me because they're saying hello. But I was so paranoid I don't know who's seen this page. So I had to take him out of school for a couple of days because I just didn't feel safe. I didn't want being affected. Someone put on the web page where my son goes to school. Now, dating is dating. What the hell has a 10-year-old boy got to do with dating?
And I will say that you are definitely not the first one that this has happened to. I've talked to several men who have had to move schools for their kids, take their kids out of school completely. They've had to move. So I see. Yeah, I understand.
It's gotten
There's no
so out of hand.
there's no defense for it. There is nothing that you can say that warrants you handing out a child's school. That's such a safeguarding issue. And the scary thing is, there's a lot of single mums that have dated. I've dated a lot of single mums. And they will 100% go, and I agree, they will slate a deadbeat dad. Something that I've spoken to know how I bend over backwards for my child. They've seen it. They've messaged me and said, I love the relationship you've got with your son. I love how respectful your son is. He's such a lovely boy. So you've seen that, and then go and affect him. So how can you then moan about deadbeat dads when you're then trying to destroy someone who is being a dad? If you want to have a go at me for dating, crack on, go ahead, do it. No problem at all. But why would you bring an innocent child into it who's done nothing to you? It don't make sense. And you can't defend that behavior. And surely, if you've got the mind to do that, doesn't that then show that that guy was then right to not want to talk to you? Because you've got that inside you to behave in that way. You can't just, no, I'll only behave like that if you annoy me. No, that's not.
And a lot of these, and it's, I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of these women, they never take blame. And they want everybody to think that it's a girls empowerment group, whatever. And I've said it millions of times, like, they want you to be a girl's girl and just believe anything that that woman says, but they don't want to admit that that woman could be lying because she's upset.
Exactly.
Right.
And there's so many case studies to go with that. And I don't understand it. As I've said, if you've got a problem with me, I would happily, with all of the women that have posted and said stuff, I would happily sit with them and say, what is it actually that I did that made you feel the way that you do? And I will listen to it. And if they say to me X, Y, Z, I'll take that on board and be like, okay, if it was something, I'll be like, actually, yeah, I can understand the way that you felt. But to sit there and say he abused me when I didn't, and there was something that I should have sent you beforehand, actually, which I have sent to people that I've been on a date with. So I had a girl message me saying, we were texting at the time, and she said, I want you to leave me with bruises. I replied saying, what? I was shocked.
Right.
So I showed someone that I was on a date with, obviously I blocked out the picture, and because they'd seen the webpage, and I said, does that look like the response of someone who's happy to hit a woman? No,
Right.
it doesn't. I would have been like, yeah, cool, I'm up for that, no problem.
Right, let's go.
But because that's not, if I've been in a sexual relations with someone and they've ended up with bruises, That's because you bruise like a peach. And there's been times where I've done stuff, I've banged my knee or banged my
Right.
leg, and I've been like, laughed about it. Joke, that's funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But in my life, have I or would I put my hands on a woman? I'm guilty. So people can call me a fuck boy, probably right. In some aspects, I have probably slept with women and made them think things are gonna go wrong, gonna go right in the future. Possibly guilty of that, but never ever have I put my hands on a woman, and I never would. And it's something that I feel so strongly about. If I'm being honest with you, the abuse part is the part that's why I'm doing this. The other part of it, like, oh, he's messaged other girls while he's been talking to me and stuff, I probably would have left it alone, because we live in a day and age where so many people interpret things differently.
But women do the same thing, though. It's not just men.
But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy thing. What girls can? I've been ghosted. I've had people come to my house. We've had sexual activity. I've not spoken to them again. Or I'll be messaging them like, hey, when do you next want to meet up? And it's excuse. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's obviously not fitting. And that's okay. There's in contract to say we've slept together, so now you're my wife. If you weren't feeling it, I have to take that on board and be like, okay, cool. But a lot of the time, people were putting on at the start, there's green flags with him, and then it goes bad. So I'll sit there and I'll think, okay, so at the start you're saying everything's fine. But everything's fine. Are you showing me that everything is fine? Because we do this a lot in relationships. If you've got men that you've been with that have been abusive and have hurt you, etc., you're gonna dislike those. If you then get with someone who is decent, who cares about how your day was at work, who buys you flowers, etc., you're then gonna fall for that guy very quickly. Who are you gonna hate more? The guy that you expected to let you down because he's abusive, or the guy that showed you a good world and now he's gone?
The guy that showed you a good time, a good world.
Exactly. So that's like I've been guilty, because they've collectively said it was green flags at the start. But then I'm sitting here and I'm thinking through the girls that I've dated, I can't sit and think at anybody where I've felt appreciated at the start. So if I'm messaging you and I'm calling you, actually, to tell a lie, there's probably 2 people who I have felt like that, but I don't feel like they would have posted on that page because they are very mature women. But I feel like you have to sometimes look in dating, and I do it myself. If something hasn't worked out, what did I do wrong? Sometimes you might not have done nothing wrong. You just didn't connect, and that's okay. That person just doesn't feel like you're going to be the person in their future. We have to learn to be okay with that. But we've grown up now in a society where now people don't want rejection. How dare you say that I'm not good enough to be with you? No, I'm not having that, so now I'm going to ruin your life. But if it's okay. How many women have rejected guys? Women reject guys on a daily. And
Exactly.
that's okay. But if a man rejects a girl, how dare he do that? I was on Twitter yesterday, and a guy was really mean to a woman, and she defended herself, and she said, right, I'm way out of your league. And loads of people messaged and said, you're actually not. You two would actually make a really good couple. But we live in a world now, men and women, of arrogance. We all think that we're great people. People will say, I'm very humble, I just want someone down to earth, but everyone's ego is up here. So then when someone says to you, actually, I'm not feeling this, and then you have to feel low, what's the best way to feel better about yourself? Attack. So then people then start attacking you for things that, hold on, you're saying, I'm short, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. But 3 weeks ago, you was messaging me saying, oh no, babe, please, let's see how things are gonna go. So it wasn't a problem then, but now because I've seen that, no.
It's always when they don't get what they want.
Exactly. But again, that's men and women, because men do it. They'll talk to a girl in a club and she'll say no, and they'll be like, oh, you're a slag anyway. And it's like, hold on, you wanted to talk to her a minute ago, so it don't make sense.
But exactly.
It's the society now is just crazy, and people don't want to be held accountable for their own behavior. There's always an excuse. There's always a reason. I was talking to a girl, and this is two stories I'm going to tell you, which baffled the hell out of me. One girl I was talking to, and we were getting on really well. I wanted to date her because I was attracted to her. She's a very attractive woman, but I didn't agree with her the way that she was a parent. But you can't judge on. So I thought, let's go on a date, see how things are. So the day before our date, I was on my way to work, and I've called her. She answered, and she was like, "Oh, I can't speak at the moment." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I heard her name being called out. So I was like, "Where are you?" She was like, "Oh, I'm at the doctor's. I'll call you back." So down the phone. So she's rang me back about 25 minutes later, and I was like, "You okay? Is everything all right?" Because obviously you're at the doctor's. Everything okay? She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Why are you at the doctor's?" She's like, "I don't want to say." I was like, "Well, tell me. Like, I need to know." So she's like, "Promise you're not gonna hang up on me." I was like, "I'm not gonna hang up on you." She said, "I've got genital warts." Now, genital warts, that's your business. But the fact is, I was coming to your house and we'd spoken sexually, so things were going to happen from the messages that we'd been sending to each other. And you was going to let that happen knowing that you had genital warts. So at
So
that
you
point,
think the only reason she told you is because you basically heard her somewhere and she
yeah.
had no choice but to admit to it?
So
Wow.
That's sad.
I said, I don't want to go on a date with you. Like I said, let's just call it a day. I said, because I feel like you've lied to me. So I hadn't heard from her until I saw on this page, my friend sent me, because when my friend sent me a screenshot to show that I was on there, I saw her name on the little bottom bit saying, "This guy's a red flag. He hides behind being a single dad. Don't go near him." And I thought, the actual audacity that you seeing me
Man.
on this page, and why not put, "Hey girls, I lied to this guy about having genital warts," and he actually, well, and messaged me a polite message saying, "I just don't want to be around someone like that." But instead, you ignore that part and just throw out there that I'm this horrible guy.
That's
And I'm mind blown. And there's
how it goes.
literally, and there's no there's no accountability for it. It's actually crazy. Because I'm sitting there and I'm trying to understand how you can be like that and think that that's okay. The second one, a girl came to my house. We got on really well. We had a bit of fun in my living room, which she never messaged. I never messaged her after. We just left it. 3 years later, I saw her on Tinder. I messaged her saying, "Hey, stranger." We both swiped each other. I said, "Hey, stranger, how are you?" She messaged me back saying, "What do you mean, stranger?" So I was like, "We've met before." And she's like, "Have we?" So I said, "How can you not remember someone that you've given oral to in their living room? How can you not remember?"
I'm sorry. It's true though, but yeah.
Her response was, "Oh, it sounds like me to do something like that, to be fair." But
Wow.
then she went page slagging me off.
So you could have easily blasted both of them, but you chose to be the bigger person and not do it.
This is what I'm saying. There was girls in there that were slating, like a couple of them I told personal stuff to, and they were towards it on the page. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, do what you need to do. But Exhibit A, I have messages still of you claiming benefits and also working cash in hand. And this is what I'm thinking. If I was a horrible guy like you're making me out to be,
Right.
I could easily talk to the council about you and you'd have your benefits taken away. I'm not that kind of person. But you're out there trying to sling mud on me just because I didn't want to talk to you. And I've actually said it in a nice way. I could be, if you was coming to me with genital warts, imagine a guy did that to a woman, which,
Man, you would be posted everywhere.
it has been on the pages. These women are saying this guy's got HIV, he's got this, he's got that, and they're posting them everywhere.
Yep.
So this problem, guys are doing it and women want them to be held accountable, but they're not holding each other accountable when other women are doing it as well. And that's the issue I have with it. It's just, it seems like there's just been a room of toxic people and they're just all just building each other up, and it's like, yeah, this is a good idea, go get him, girl, go get him, girl. And as I said to you before, these women were like, oh, let's call his work. And I was like, well, the joke's on you, because work were the ones that told me about the page. So they've got my back.
Crazy.
Yeah, they've got my back because they know what I'm like. They've known me longer than you've known me. You had a conversation with me for about 30 days and met me once and seem to think you know my life story, and you don't. And the scary thing, as I say, there's people that genuinely want to harm you because you haven't lived up to the picture that, yes, maybe I've built, but then I'm not feeling it, and that again is okay. Or the picture that you thought, this guy's gonna save me from whatever feelings you've had in the past, and I'm not that guy. And I'm sorry that I'm not a superhero that's gonna do everything that you say and do, but that's life. I'm single. Do you think that I want to post every single woman that's let me down? No, because that's life. It
Right.
happens.
That's sad. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, you told me some of your story, but going more in depth, it's
Yeah.
wow. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came on. So, dang.
The thing is, I'm very, very open and honest, and I speak with passion. And I think sometimes my passion can come across as aggressive or whatever, but I'm in my life. I want to find someone that I love, that loves me. But at the minute, I don't want to go near women. I genuinely could not think of anything worse, because, and I feel bad because there's been a couple of people that have been talking to me and they're absolutely wonderful. They've had my back through this 100%. And like, I couldn't have got through this last period without them. My son's mum being one, my friend Josie as well, my friend Haley, like they've had my back 100% and have like kept my mind straight.
I'm glad.
And
Yeah.
but even though I'm like, I don't think I can trust a woman, because how can you sit with me on the phone? We're having 3-4 hour conversations and you're like, don't worry, babe, I'm not like those women. I'm not going to tell your secrets. Da, da, da. And as soon as I say, actually, I'm not feeling this, they're like, well, I know this about you. So I'm like, and you're just proving why, because you're showing a side of you that I don't like and I can't relate to. And that takes time. People nowadays,
Mhm.
like, we've been for a week, 2 weeks, so you should trust me. No, I don't know
Mm-mm.
you. You don't know me.
And then what else I've noticed is a lot of these women, after they post a man and they get caught, what they, for what they've done, they always want to like either take the post down or beg them for forgiveness.
Yeah,
Like you should have thought about that before you did this, trying to ruin this man's reputation.
yeah,
So,
100%. And I hear that. And the scary thing for me is, as I say, I'm a big advocate for women's safety. I don't want this to send it back, because now I've heard that guys are making a page and they're secretly putting women's nudes up.
I
I
heard
don't
about that
agree.
too.
I don't
I'm against that totally.
agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fully disgusting. But men are immature. They really are. And men will fight back tenfold. Then women are gonna then go tenfold. Where does it?
Hmm
Where does it?
Exactly. It's just going to be it won't stop.
Exactly that. You don't know who to trust no more and who to talk to. What it's gonna take is just one person, one person of like, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Is it Paula Sanchez or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's always going to be her to just literally just say, you know what, guys, this isn't right how this is going, and explain what things are for. You've got these admins in these groups, as we touched on earlier. They're blocking evidence. Why would you do that? If you're genuinely thinking about a woman's safety and fairness for all, why would you block evidence to show that this post is not right?
Exactly. Like, for example, Paula Sanchez knows who I am and she knows what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
She knows about my group. She knows that I help the men, I contact them, whatever I can do. Even the women of her group reach out to me. And they also reach out to Jay. So whenever they mention me or any of my groups in Are We Dating the Same Guy, that person's comments or posts get deleted. And 9 out of 10 times they get banned from that group because you can't even mention my name in there. My thing about that is if I'm a bad person like everybody's claiming for me to be, you would want these women in this group to know, it's about women's safety. They can't talk about me at all. They can't. So
It's
um,
it's moved from safety. it's gone from, and if I'm talking out of turn, I apologize, but it feels like there's something much deeper from the people at the top are gaining something from this, because there's no other reason for you to, you're saying that the page is moderated. No, they're not. I was having a disagreement with a woman the other day. She was saying the women don't bash the men about their looks and stuff. And I was like, nah, you're being deluded here, because it's visible for everybody to see that's what's happening. You can't look at something with your eyes and then deny it. Right? And I just understand where we can go from here.
I'd like to add to that with the groups and how many followers are in them. I think that the reason, I mean, I've asked friends of mine and they, it's entertainment for them.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was actually just for dangerous men. There'd be a post maybe here and there. I don't know. How many people would continuously go back to that page? There has to be something where the amount of times people visit that page, something is contributed to it. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Because I mean, I don't know. I think it's fun for women to just play in the toxic playground. I don't know how to explain it, but I think I agree with you saying it's something much larger at play here.
Mm-hmm. We're actually, I'm actually talking to a producer, and we'll be working on a 3-part series documentary. And there's so much inside information we have on Paula Sanchez and her group and her mods. Like, there's a lot to lay out there, but I'm not going to tell everybody everything yet. But I will say that we do think that somebody in Facebook is working with her.
Yeah.
That's why her groups can't be taken down.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, but yeah, there's definitely more going on to it.
Because it's gonna take someone to die in a certain way, and for that to have, like, we saw the fake, when I read it about the guy killing, I didn't believe, but the comments from women on there, I was like, you can't be saying that. People was, well, if he has died, that's his own fault. He should be a nice guy. Yes, because everybody that's being posted is actually a bad person. Like, and this is what I was confused with. There's a big group of women that believe that they're perfect, and when they're dating, they haven't put a foot wrong, and they've said everything right. They treat every guy right. No, you don't. Like, everyone does something wrong at some point, and you can't sit there and say I haven't. I actually am absolutely perfect. There's no worries, because as I say, I've dated a lot of women, and there'll be times I'm sitting there, and when they say to me, oh, I don't know what's wrong, why this guy didn't want to date me, after about a week or so, I sit there and I think I know why now. I want to be an arsehole and say that. Do you know what I mean? I'm letting you, and let's do our thing. But you start to see traits of people, and the thing is, they probably see it with me as well. But that's the thing. I'm okay with that. If someone came to me and said, right, I don't want to date you because of X, Y, Z, and I'm moving on with my life, then I'll be like, Fez, like, if that's annoying you about me, go on about your life and be happy. But it's like, you just can't do it the other way. And it's when people say to me, the biggest thing I hate, I love someone who can communicate. That's like the whole big thing now. With any profile you go into, someone who can communicate and tell the truth. These women, how are they communicating? Take away the violent side of it. I'm not asking women to talk to the men that have been violent to them and have been narcissistic. I'm not asking that. But the people that you are shaming for just because they don't want to be with you, where was the communication and the trust and the honesty and all these things that you speak of, because you find it so important in a man, but then you're not willing to do the same? As I said, with the girl that I dated that knew that I was on the website, I was so disappointed that things went left, because we spoke, and yes, again, I hold my hands up. I lied about people I'd slept with. 100%, that's my fault. But
everybody does that. It's really nobody's business. You know what I'm saying?
We could have. I don't think she cares about where. I think it was more the lie, and I understand that part of it, and that's my bad. But we spoke on the phone, had an honest conversation, and you'd be like, you know what, you lied to me, so thank you for explaining, but I'm done. And I'd have been like, you know what, that's fair enough. But it was the way that she didn't do that, and we'd had some deep conversations, and she came across as such an adult woman that could handle her own business, handle her own emotion, to do what she did, and then go back onto the page and then boast to the women, oh yeah, he's trying to talk to me, he's trying, that is so teen. That's what you expect from young girls, and she was a 38-year-old woman. That's what young girls do in the playground. I guess what he tried to talk to me, and I swerved him. I didn't want to talk to him. Like, come on, really? You're 38, the mother. Why are you behaving like that? It don't make. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm perfect. I'm really not. I mess up more than the average human being, but I will happily sit down and have a conversation. And that's what I said. Anyone that I've done wrong over this period of time, if they came to me and said, let me actually sit and talk to you and tell you why I'm upset with you, I'll happily listen, because I want to learn. Do you think I want to be going through things and upsetting people and me not realizing why I'm upsetting them? No, I don't. If I get into a relationship, I actually want to know, oh, damn, I need to work on that. But people aren't telling you. You're ending it with them. They're acting like it's okay. And then next thing, you're being posted and people are saying all this nonsense about you. It's wild. What do you do?
Right.
How big
It's
is that group? My bad, Paula.
No, you're fine.
Do you know how many members were in that group?
The London one, I believe there's something thousand in there.
You said 100,000?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Ooh.
that's bigger. Yeah.
So that's
The
why
one here in St. Louis says like 70 or 80,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Said, like, who knows this? And people have said, yeah, I was talking to him, but I read this and now I'm not. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, if you've been talking to me and things are fine, message me and say, hey, I've seen you in a group. Can you explain? And as I said, there's been people I've spoken to and I've sent them the police report that I showed you, and they still acting iffy. And I'm like,
it clearly says,
it's got,
you know,
the police badge, the registered account, my name, my address.
Case number.
Yeah.
With humans now.
Yeah, your case number too.
You'd rather believe random strangers on the internet that you've never met than police. And
well, I'm telling everybody I see it, so there's nothing on there.
And as I've said, if there was anyone that's gonna know any information about me, it's gonna be my son's mum. We was together for however long, years, and she's got my back. So that says a lot. So we live in a day and age where, like, baby mums and baby fathers hate each other, and mine's got my back. So what does that tell you, the person that I am?
That you're a good person.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as I said, the bringing my son into it and all of that jazz, there's no excuse for that at all, ever. There's nothing that anybody can say on the planet to say he did this, so I put his son's school address up. Because imagine someone went to the school. We live in a world where people are crazy. Imagine someone went to the school and like stabbed my son or something.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want, like.
And it's sad because that's possible, you know.
Exactly. And these lot are goading each other on. Oh yeah, girl, that's a great idea. Go and do that. Put it up again. Like, come on, man. It don't make sense. And women will sit there and they'll be like, yeah, well, if he was a nice guy, that wouldn't have happened. No, think about what you've just said. You've just said, if I'm not a nice guy, that my son deserves to get hurt. Think about that, what you're saying. Any women that are listening to this, laughing and finding it funny, I want you to genuinely think, take the dating out of it. Why does a child need to be involved in a situation of dating when, as I said, there's been no violence, there's been no sexual assault, there's been claims of this, the police have washed them claims away. I still haven't been arrested, despite the woman saying that I'm going to be. It's just been lies and lies and lies. As I said, I had the police round. They can't do anything at the moment because it's opinions online, which I disagree with, because there's loads of people that have been arrested for opinions, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say here, but they've told me the threshold of what it is with regards to the people. So I know I've been getting like missed calls on my phone and things like that. I know the sort of people, what they need to do for them to get arrested, but obviously I'm not going to tell them here in case they're watching and then they're not threshold. But it's just scary, and it doesn't need to be like that.
Yeah, I'm glad that, you know, you were able to defend yourself.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you coming on here. But it's sad because there's so many men in your situation that they're they're scared to even tell their side of the story because they will get attacked.
Yep.
And it's those groups are horrible. They just need to end.
But the thing is, even if they don't end, they need to be moderated properly in the way that, as I said, the aim of the group, I stand by 100%. Women need to feel
safe. A lot
safe.
of people do. Yeah.
Women need to feel safe. They need to be protected. Us as men need to do a hell of a lot more. The way that men treat women is disgusting. And sometimes I'm ashamed to be a man because of how women are treated. We need to do a lot better. A hell of a lot better. But saying that, you've got a bunch of women, and unfortunately, it's a minute amount of women, but it seems bigger because of things like this, that add way too much spice to situations and then blow it up and then make men react in a worse way. Now, again, I'm not blaming women for that. Men should be accountable for their actions. But if you want men to be accountable, you as a woman have to be accountable as well and say, you know what, actually, the way that I've behaved in the situation.
Exactly.
Before we head off, if we're cutting, here's one thing that I always say to women, and I still to this day haven't had an answer. So women hate abusive men. They hate men that hit women. They hate men that lie to women, etc. They're all posting things online of how men are. These same women pay money to go watch Chris Brown in concert. Now, because Chris Brown's famous and because he's got money and because he's good looking, all of a sudden it's forgotten that he kicked the shit out of Rihanna because he can dance and he's sexy and he's this and he's that.
And he's famous.
You can't have it both ways. You're either against abusing or you're not. You can't say because he's famous and he's got money and, oh, it's Chris Brown, it doesn't really matter. No.
I just made a post just like you, like what you're saying right now. I just made it in the group not too long ago. It was this man who murdered 2 women, and his video of him being in court, whatever, went viral on TikTok.
Yes.
All these women made a point to talk about, oh, he can do whatever he wants to me. I love him. I'll do whatever for him to make him happy. Where's his address at? Yeah. But you're the same ones that are most likely in this group that's talking bad about these guys because you got your feelings hurt, but then you're okay with this guy choking the shit out of you because of how he looks and he's famous.
Yeah.
Like, make your mind up.
Exactly.
Sorry.
You can't be promoting and endorsing Chris Brown. You're putting money in Chris Brown's pocket every time you listen to his songs. You're putting money in the pocket of an abuser. But then you're going online and moaning about male abuse to women when you're funding it.
Basically, yeah.
That is such a good point. Such a good point.
And
it really is. I never thought about it like that.
Because when you, in any walk of life, male or female, man, child, whatever, if you put facts in front of somebody who doesn't want to hear facts, they just reject it and they fight back with, oh, well. Unless you're a grown enough person to sit there and say, you know what, actually, yeah, you are right. Let me change my way of thinking. And as I've said to you, anybody that's watching this that I've done wrong, I will happily sit down, even if they send me a message and say, this is what you did. I won't respond unless someone wants me to respond. If someone messaged me and said, you did this, this is why I will happily take it on board. Do you know what I mean? Because somehow, in some way, I've upset somebody, but I don't even know why. This is what I'm saying. I would love to know why. All these people that are saying, oh, he's a red flag, because tell me why I'm a red flag. Because at the time,
so you can work on it.
At the time, you didn't say anything. We just stopped talking. You stopped messaging me as much as I stopped messaging you. And
exactly.
Please tell me, did you say, let's be in a relationship? No, you didn't. Do you know what I mean? I morning? Did you ring me in the evening? No, you didn't. But I'm the red flag. Like, this is what I'm
Right.
saying. People don't communicate. They just want to moan because you didn't get the result you wanted to get. We
That's all
don't.
it comes down to. And then the thing about that group is, like you said, it's like thousands and thousands of members. It's like high school, like bullying. And they want to be just like the other people, and just that's why I think so many women that don't even know a man will go on the
Yeah.
post to create more drama, because they all feed off of that. And it's
100%.
not fair.
It's really not. And this is the thing. Everybody who knows me in my life knows I don't date black women. My preference is Caucasian women. There were black girls posting in there that I've met them. I'm like, no, you haven't. And people, my friends were laughing. Like, you've never. The darkest I've been is my son's mum. She's mixed race, but she's on the light white side. I've never dated a black woman in my life. So how are black women on there saying, yeah, I went on a date with him and he was really abusive to me, and it's like, to sit there and lie just so people, you can have something to do on your Wednesday night. Let me just write this in this I'll do for an hour because I'm bored. You're messing with people's lives, because then you're building a massive profile picture of this guy's really abusive. You got 40 comments, 38 of you have never even met him, but people just see 40 comments and they think, oh damn, all of these women must be telling the truth,
Yeah,
because
they
there's
can't
40.
be lying. It's a women's group supporting each other. It's girls, girls, and they're got to have each other's back. All that
It's
bullshit,
100.
all that crap.
I said this to one of my friends the other day. It's a bit sickening. I understand it, but sometimes you have to have a harsh reality to understand something. So they were saying to me, if there's so many people, it can't be wrong. So I was like, okay, let's flip that. If you've got 40 pedophiles that all agree with each other, can it be wrong? They're like, that's different. I'm like, how? If
Right.
you've got a lot of the wrong mindset, doesn't make it right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go to extremes for people to understand what you're saying don't make sense.
You can't get them to understand, though. They're set in their ways.
You can't. A group of people agreeing with something does not mean that that is right. You've got a whole group of scientists that will say something, and then a couple later they'll admit they're wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about timing and the agenda at the time. Right now, you've got a group of girls who hate me. In about 4 or 5 years' time, they're going to be sitting down being like, you know what, actually, David wasn't that bad. And actually what I did was really out of order. You know,
Yeah.
it's all about growth at that time. But for whatever reason, people are hurting at the moment. And it's annoyed me because there were some people that I was talking to that I was actually getting on with. And they've affected my dating life because then people have seen stuff, which isn't even true. I mean, the fact that they didn't contact me and say, I've seen this, let's talk about it, shows that they probably weren't right for me anyway. But
Right.
it's just annoying that people can see stuff and I can't defend myself in any way, shape or form. Like my friend wrote, she was arguing with this girl back and forth and she was trying to put sense in her head about what was being said. She was even saying that the girl that was saying she didn't want me to know who she was. She was like, are the police going to turn up at his house and saying we're arresting you for sexual assault, but we can't tell you who won?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it don't make sense.
Right.
So, and she said this in a group and the girl couldn't answer it. And then her comments got deleted and then she got blocked. And it's like, why are you protecting it? Why are you
Mm-hmm.
It's that herd mentality.
literally?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of men that will abuse it. I've seen it on the "Are we dating the same girl?" posts. A lot of them are immature and it's stupid. But it's so hard to police the good men from the bad men. I get that. But if you've got actual legitimate police proof, like I've shown you today,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's arguing with it, and nobody should be saying we're not going to post that. They should be saying, "Damn, let's clear this guy because what he's being accused of on that level is wrong." If there's girls that are upset that I've led them on, let them think it. Get in touch with me and tell me how I've led you on, because I guarantee you've probably led me on more than I've led you on. Do you know what I mean? Like as I
Yeah.
say, the girl that I last went on a date with, despite seeing what was on the website, she still had relations with me and then was asking me to block her. She was like, oh, you're going to block me after this, aren't you? I didn't. But then she told me, and I'm the bad guy. What I don't understand. It's like, what is your method of thinking? You've seen on the website, you know about the website, you still go on a date with him, you do with him, and then you slate him on the website.
I don't understand them.
Help.
Like,
it doesn't make sense.
A big grown up woman.
Man, that's
and issue. This is where I get so over passionate, because I'm like, it's just wild. Like, sit down and have a conversation with me and tell me your thought process and tell me what you're thinking. She told me that she was angry that I planned to spend Christmas with Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm a single man. I was gonna spend Christmas afternoon by myself. I'm gonna make plans. Like, what is wrong with that?
right.
Like, I didn't see the issue with it. So come and tell me where the issue is. If we're not in a relationship and we're not together, and I've met you once and I want to make plans with other people and see what my options are, I'm going to do it. And if I'm wrong for that, hold my hands up. Tell me I'm wrong. But don't go on a website and start slating me and saying, oh, he did this, he did that, he's this kind of person. You don't know me well enough to be saying that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to be with someone 3 months period before they say the mask shows of who they are as a person. There's not one woman, well, one woman only, the person who I thought wrote it, but as the only person out of all of those comments on there that has spent 3 months or more with me. So everybody else, you've probably had 1 or 2 dates maximum, and you've managed to build up this picture of me being abusive. One of the girls, she put on there, she put, yeah, he is really abusive. He's really rough in bed. Da 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 da. I'd never even slept with her. She said to, because I pulled her up on it. I emailed her, old school. I emailed her. I said, "Why have you written this?" And she goes, "Oh, you're just angry. You've been caught out." And I said, "How have I been caught out?" And she goes, "I've even got the messages to prove that you like it rough in bed." So I said, "Okay, let's play devil's advocate for a second. You've got messages to prove that I like it rough in bed. However, you came to my house. Despite these messages, you came to my house. So those messages weren't an issue then, were they? But if you genuinely felt they were an issue, why would you come to my house by yourself, alone? That don't make sense. If you genuinely feel for your safety, why would you go to a guy's house by yourself? And the thing is, again, sorry if this goes out of turn, but things happened and I filmed it. And I reminded her that I had the film, because she was saying about going to the police. And I said, you do realize that I've got the video and I will show the police that. And she went silent, said nothing.
Of course, because she couldn't show that she feared, that you scared her.
Exactly. And this is the thing. People are just writing on there and they're not actually thinking about what's being said. They're just like, oh yeah, let me just jump on a bandwagon. And then like, oh, actually, yeah, maybe. And this is the thing, I could be an idiot. I could go to the police and show them what she's been writing and show them the video and show this is defamation because this is not what happened. Look at the two. But I'm not that person. I just want it all to just go away and I just want to get on with my life.
Right.
But people are just drag things up and it's just not fair.
Yeah, that's crazy. Your story is something else, for real.
I honestly and truthfully, I could probably do a Netflix series on the stuff that I've been through over the last years, dating wise, because again, I'm not the perfect guy, very far from, but I like to think that I treat people with respect as much as I can, but I do get put off very easy. But as I say, I'm very set in my ways. I've got me and I've got my son, so it takes someone very special to be able to come into that setting. So if I'm dating someone, and at the beginning, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. No, I'm not. They are great. They're great people. Hence why I want to talk to you and get to know you. But if things aren't going the way that I feel like there's a future, what do you want me to do? Keep lying?
Right.
And then get more hurt? No, at the beginning, I'm going to say, actually, no, this isn't working for me. And,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna go on and wrap it up. But if you want to come back on at any point, just you have my contact information. Just reach out to me and let me know.
Will do.
I really hope everything works out
Yeah,
for you. You seem like a good
you
guy.
do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank,
And I really appreciate you coming on and telling your story.
thank you.
So,
Thank you. I appreciate you giving me
yeah,
to do so.
no problem.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna upload this and then I will send you the link as soon as it's done.
Quick question.
Brilliant.
Quick
All
question.
right, I'll talk. Oh, go on.
I know that Paula let you know that this was going on YouTube. Are you okay if that YouTube video is shared on our website?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, real quick, while Jay is talking, Jay, do you want to explain to him who you are and how we partnered up?
Sure. Yeah. So I have a personal connection as well, that was posted, and they actually told me about Paula. So I had reached out to her on Reddit. We got to talking, and she pretty much explained how deep this thing went. And since then, I think we started talking Thanksgiving?
Somewhere around there.
Probably around
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, yeah. And sort of the same things. It impacted their job,
Yeah.
and just dating in general. And lies were told, and it just kind of made life difficult for him. And I'm wanting to help get these groups taken down. So I've created a website. It's ban are we dating the same guy.com,
Mm-hmm.
like the initials, the acronym for are we dating the same guy. And right now I'm trying to get, there's actually been, I think, close to, I want to say 900 visits
Okay.
to the site. And there's stories on there, there's news articles on there, there's a community forum page if you ever just want to drop by, leave a comment. So yeah, I'm hoping that something can change with these groups, because if it was all for women's safety, people would not be having a problem with it. But it's the fact that it has turned so toxic and come so far from that, and it seems to be okay somehow with Facebook. I'm not okay with that, and I don't think that it should be a thing. There's other methods for I guess safety precautions.
Mm-hmm.
So
We need more men to speak up. That's the thing, because so many
absolutely.
men, they've just got a attitude about it, because the men are just placid like that. With all due respect, women are very whereas men are just like
Whatever.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, literally. So the more men that we can get involved and to talk about it, because even over here, one of my friends, I tried getting a page going to get it shut down, and a couple of our friends that she said have been posted, they were like, I don't really care, to be fair. And it's just like, how can your face is being plastered all over the place? But yeah,
Yeah.
trying to just poke the men a bit more and get them to.
Well, if you have anybody that might want to talk, have them, contact me, or you can message me on their behalf.
Yeah.
And also, we do allow women, I haven't had it yet, but we're setting it up. Women who have been affected by Are We Dating the Same Guy can also get on here and tell their side of the story. For example, like how your friends tried to defend you. Their
Yeah.
posts or comments were deleted and they were banned from the group. They can talk about that. People can contact me, do stories on their opinions of Are We Dating the Same Guy. I'm open to anything, but
Yeah.
we're mainly trying to be a voice for the men who have been affected. And like I said, some of the women as well. So just always reach out to me if you can.
I will do, no problem.
And like I
But
said, if you ever want to get back on and talk, you're more than welcome to.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No problem, but I will definitely be in touch, okay?
Okay,
All right.
thanks very much. Good
Bye.
evening.
Bye.
Later.